Well, Cody, I appreciate you taking a few seconds, man. I know we've got the show in Saginaw at the Vault coming up on Friday. This, though, will not be your first time in Saginaw. And though you look very different, I look very different, this studio looks very different. I'm reminded about 20 years ago, Get Stoned had come out. You guys came to the Z93 studios to perform. And the only reason this sticks out in my head is because you guys came in at like 10 o'clock in the morning, all wearing sunglasses, all carrying beers.
Yeah, I don't think all that much has changed.
It was one of those things, man. I was new to radio. We hadn't done a lot of the in studio stuff, and you guys were relatively new, so we didn't know a lot about you yet. Lips hadn't hit yet. And I remember it being an early one and you guys rolling in, and it just felt like that rock star vibe that we don't get to see here in Saginaw that often. You guys already had it down. Like first single, you were like, all right, sunglasses, scarves and beers at 10 o'clock in the morning. It was perfect.
Yeah, we've definitely lost the scarves and sunglasses in the mornings, but yeah, I mean the beers still happen. That's for sure.
It's insane, man, that we're coming up on 20 years of extreme behavior. How does it feel knowing that next year will mark 2 decades of that album for you guys?
Well, it feels awful in some ways, but pretty amazing in others. Like I don't know. We talk about it all the time, about how lucky we are to be doing this after so many years. I mean, being able to do anything for a job for 20 years is insane. You know what I mean? But then getting to do this, something that we love, and that we're so passionate about. It's really cool. It's been really cool to see, all the fans that were young, when we were, just starting, we were kids, right? See all those fans get older, and then they have kids and they start bringing their kids out to shows, and like introducing a whole new generation to our music it's been pretty wild to see, man.
I think looking back on, the last 20 years, and I think we can sort of describe your rise back in the mid 2000s as sort of meteoric, because Get Stoned came out and that was a hit for you guys. And then of course, Lips of an Angel comes out. At what point do you realize like this song is different and there's something sort of going on here that maybe was unexpected, that sort of catapults you into this realm that, maybe was a little bit unexpected? What was there a certain point with that song that you guys thought this is different?
Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, we always thought that was a special song. We had to fight our label for it. They didn't even want to put it on the album. So, but I think there was one moment while we were out on the Nickelback tour. We were the first band of four on the tour, and usually when you're the first band, you play to an empty arena or half empty at least. And I remember one night just in the middle of the run, just looking up, and the arena was packed. I mean, there wasn't a seat left in the place, and it was just lighters everywhere. And it was just like, an oh shit moment, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Definitely, it was an emotional moment for me, for sure. It kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of rock bands that get to sort of experience that sort of success that you had with that song. I mean, it reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is pretty unheard of then and really doesn't happen now. I mean, maybe Shinedown has one that goes in the last decade. What's one thing that might surprise people about having a song that was that big?
I mean, oh, I don't know. I mean, I think there are a lot of things, that would surprise people for, if you don't do this, if you don't, if you don't do music for a living. But, one thing that it was special about that song was the fact that, it crossed over into the country world as well. That's pretty special for a rock song. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the fact that it's been covered, pretty much across every genre is amazing. I mean, there was, a few years ago, we did this little thing online that most people didn't even know happened, but it was like all these different, like emo bands got together and did different versions of it and put it up on, I don't even remember what format it was. It was like Bandcamp or something. I don't know. But it was really interesting to see, like all these younger kids that had never really heard the song whenever it first came out, kind of do their own spin, put their own spin on it. I don't know. It was really interesting to just hear all these different versions.
And I imagine it's got to be weird to walk into any bar USA and hear a band covering it, because I'm sure somebody somewhere is probably in Nashville playing it like right now.
Yeah, yeah. Almost anytime you go out to a bar, it's if there's not a band up there playing, somebody puts it on the jukebox. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. And here we are, some 20 years later. You guys are all still playing shows. The band looks a little bit different now, with Marshall's been singing for you guys for a while now. Mark, bailed on the band or left the band a couple of years ago, but you, Joe Blower, and Mark have been together doing this for 20 plus years. Can you talk about just what their friendship has meant and what that working relationship has been like, working with, the same couple of guys and really the same group of people for such a long time?
Yeah, I mean, Marshall's been around now for, he's officially been in the band for over 10 years now. And then, him and I have worked as, kind of like a production duo for even longer than that, for, since our third record, since the beginning of our third record. So, I mean, on that front, that feels like it's just kind of always been there. But, I met Blower in college, as a freshman in college. So since 2001, that's insane. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think I kind of feel like we're not just friends, we're not just, I don't know. It's even like our relationship is like beyond even like what family is. You know what I mean? We know things about each other that most human beings shouldn't know about each other. It's pretty wild. And the fact that we're still tight and we talk, almost every day. I mean, I think that's a pretty special deal. You know what I mean? Those guys mean the world to me, and I definitely wouldn't want to be doing it without them. That's for sure.
So you've released 2 albums with Marshall at the helm. It's been, what, 7 years at this point since the last album came out. That's a long time to go between albums, unless you're like Metallica or Tool. And I know COVID sort of throws a wrench into all that. And it's not like you guys have taken a break. You guys have been playing. You guys have been gigging and playing shows all over. Where do we stand when it comes to new music from Hinder and a new album? Is that something we can expect soon?
Yeah, well, you can definitely expect a new single coming soon. The album is finished. We have everything done. We're just kind of locking down the final release date for the album. We have shifted gears now, and I can tell you, we just figured this out yesterday, that the first single will be out on September 13th. So you can look for that for sure. Yeah, we're really excited about it. Like I said, it's been a long time since we've put out new music. We considered never doing new music again, and we shifted gears and did this whole album, and I'm really proud of it. I think it's as a whole, as an entire body of work, I think it's one of the best things we've ever done. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I know there was talk at one point, because when you guys are all playing shows, there are songs that people want to hear, and that brings up the question, that I think a lot of bands that have been around for 20, 30, and 40 plus years ask, is like, do we want to keep doing new music when, we play a show and people are like, I don't want to hear the new stuff. I want to hear Take It to the Limit. I want to hear songs off those albums. And it sounds like you guys were sort of at that place where you're like, you know what, is it worth it to do new music with the way the landscape in the music industry has changed?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. That's exactly where we were, and then we started playing this new song off of this album. And the reaction to it has been pretty incredible. It's like it ended up being one of the high points in the set. It's not even, and that song's not even going to be the first single, but it's been fun to watch the way that people have reacted live. So I don't know if we're going to put another new one in by the time we do the show there, but I know it's coming soon. We're going to be, we're working on it, and as soon as we get it tight and we feel confident, we're going to throw it in. So yeah, man, it's been fun.
When it comes to new music, and you're the primary songwriter for Hinder, and I know you the guys, obviously you're sort of a collective when it comes to that. Is it one person who sort of pushes for the new music and has to convince everybody else to sort of jump on board with it, or is it sort of an all for one for all? Yes, let's do this. How does it go from, you know what, maybe we don't do new music to yes, let's do it?
Marshall and I have been, as I said, we kind of have been a production and songwriting team for several years, and so we're always writing and producing, and I don't know. I think just one day we just decided that it had been long enough, and some of these songs we collected so many songs over the years that we never used for anything, and they were just sitting on a hard drive, and we really thought it was a shame that nobody was ever going to hear them. So we thought, you know what, let's take this little group of songs that we know that we love. Let's put those songs in a pile, and let's go out and write a bunch of new songs, and then we'll just kind of see what songs stand out at the end, and we'll put them on an album and put them out, and hopefully people will love them as much as we do.
I have to imagine that after playing, some songs for upwards of 20 years at this point, that getting that sort of that breath of fresh air, so to speak, in the set list, having those new songs and getting to play those as a band. Yes, you're going to play the hits. You're always going to play the hits, but getting to play something even slightly, even a little bit different, something new has got to feel good and refreshing for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're all different, right? Like, Mike, our bass player, he's always itching to play new stuff. Like I don't know, he gets mad when we don't like change stuff up all the time. Where some of us, like myself, I get really anxious about playing something new, something that I'm not used to doing all the time. I'm not comfortable with it yet. But yeah, it is kind of like you said, it's a breath of fresh air. It's something new and exciting, So I think people can feel the energy on in a set where we put something new in. So hopefully we'll be able to bring some of that to Saginaw.
So we've got the show in Saginaw coming up on Friday at the Vault. Tickets for that are on sale at the Vault box office, the vaulteventcenter.com. New singles on the way in September. Do we have a release date yet for an album? When can we expect that to be out?
No, we don't have a release date for it yet, but like I said, it is finished. It is ready to go. We're kind of working through some details with a new label. So as soon as we get all that locked down, then we'll be announcing.
Has there been any talk about doing something special for the 20th anniversary of the debut album next year? I know a lot of bands will do, whether it's 20th anniversary tours where they play the whole thing in its entirety, or they do a vinyl release, or has there been any talk, because that album was so big for so many people, has there been any talk about a 20th anniversary something?
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. It's kind of hard with putting out a new album right now. That kind of might get interesting, but since we have such a love for alcohol, we thought about maybe kind of just doing it as a 21 year anniversary. So when the album's it's legal to drink with us, then maybe we'll do. Yeah, I don't know, man. We may change our minds and do something crazy. The cool thing is we have a studio that we've been working out of here for years, and we have the ability to do pretty much whatever we want. So, we may change our minds. We do that quite a bit. We'll see what happens.
Speaking of the 21st anniversary, and I saw this as I was prepping the interview, and it reminded me of not only the in-studio stuff, but you guys playing like the Chesaning Showboat on the Bad Boys of Rock tour and different shows around the shows at the Machine Shop in the Mid-Michigan area. Does Hinder still have a Jägermeister tap machine on the bus?
That is the one thing we definitely got rid of. Yeah. Yeah, we got a little tired of that. It made us old and fat quick, so yeah, we had to ditch that one.
probably a good idea as someone who also enjoyed quite a bit of that in my younger years. Though never had. I'm jealous.
When you find yourself getting up in the middle of the night and walking into the front lines of the bus and just putting your head under it and pushing the button, like that's probably a sign that it's time and get rid of it. It doesn't need to be there anymore.
No, yeah. All right. Well, we won't look for that at the vault, though I know they'll have it. They'll have it available if you want to consume. They'll have Jaeger and all that stuff. It's going to be a fun show Friday night, man. We're excited to have you back in Saginaw and excited for, I know you guys are going to be on the road. I mean, you guys are always out playing shows. So I suspect that this won't be the last time we'll see you sort of in this area around mid-Michigan in the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah, for sure. You couldn't keep us away from that spot. We love it up there.
All right, man. Cody, we are excited to see you here in a couple of days and great to talk to you again, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.